Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today we are going to be talking about using a border print, specifically an eyelet border print where I've done some interlining, talking you all through all of that on this really fun two-piece set that I have made. For summer basically. And I think that these pieces can go a little bit into the fall as well. But before we get into that, today is Friday, which means we do have a Feature Friday pattern for Love Notions, and it is the Allegros. Guys, this is a fantastic bang for your buck pattern. You get shorts, a skirt, a pair of pants. There's so many different things that you can do, and a couple of different like inseams of shorts. There's so many different things that you can do with this pattern. I did a whole like fitting journey with it a few years ago now. Anyway, it is on sale for $6 today only, and my code GIDGET10 will give you an additional 10% off that sale price. So you're going to want to grab that if, to add to your catalog if that's something that you're interested in. It's a full elastic waist pant, pockets, all that kind of stuff. So it's not what I'm wearing, but that's fine. These are the new Cashmere Everett shorts actually that I've got on. But anyway, lovely pattern and one that I've made up a few different times. Okay. Let's talk about working with border prints, slash if you've got a fabric that has like a really pretty lacy border, such as this one. So I'm going to talk about the fabric first, and then we'll get into the patterns, and then I am going to show you both up-close footage of these pieces on the mannequin, right side out as well as inside out, because I want to show you how I dealt with the eyelet so that you couldn't see through it. Okay, so this fabric is called the Sanibel, which I love because Sanibel is actually an island that I've been going to with my family since I've been like teeny tiny, still go visit. But this is the Sanibel cotton eyelet from Serge Fabrics. She did have it in a ton of colors, like 8 or 9. I think now you can still get it, or last I checked, you can still get it, including this color, you can still get it in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of the colors. Some of the other ones have sold out. But it is a cotton fabric, and I would say like a cotton lawn, similar to a cotton lawn, but it's 100% cotton. So the thread that is used for all of the eyelet embroidery is also cotton, as well as the base fabric is cotton. Now, what this does is when you wash it, it gets like that quilt effect. So like if you're a quilter, when you do a quilt and then you go and wash it, it gets that crinkly effect because the fabrics shrink up, and, if you're using especially cotton thread, shrinks up maybe at different rates. So you get that kind of well crinkled effect. This fabric does the same thing. So if you're someone that doesn't like the rumple, you may not be, this is never going to press completely flat. I mean, you can get it pretty close, but it's never, there's going to be some crinkles in the fabric just because once you wash it, and I washed it before I made the outfit, but once you wash it, they are going to shrink a little bit up, and yeah, it's going to cause kind of the rumpled effect. So just keep that in mind. I love the linen rumple, but I know not everyone does. So it's similar to this. I think this is absolutely beautiful. I think it gives a beautiful texture to the fabric. I am obsessed with this fabric. I'm a little tempted to I'm tempted to buy it maybe another color, but I also have other eyelets in my stash that I probably need to be working with first. I'm trying to not be a fabric hoarder, she says, with the world's largest stash. Trying to be better. Anyway, it is beautiful fabric to work with, and it has a double border selvage, which means this beautiful eyelet scalloped edge, it was on both selvage edges of the fabric, which gave me a lot of wiggle room for playing around, and I wanted to make sure that I used that edge to its benefit. So if you are a member of my YouTube membership, I was actually making this as during my summer, my staycation sewing retreat that I did. It was like a 10 days. My son was out of town, and it was super, super hot here. And so I just took a little time each day to really just make stuff, just to have a fun little sewing retreat. Asked you guys to join me and that sort of thing. But this was one of the pieces towards the end of that time frame that I made for my little sewing sewcation. So during all of that, I was actually in the process of, I had just filmed and gotten approved the sew along for the Cashmerette Thorndike, which was or is the July pattern of the month for their club pattern, as well as the Everett, which is one of their regular catalog patterns. But anyway, I had just finished doing that, was absolutely loving how it turned out. So I made the version for the sew along, and then I made a version that actually matches these shorts and just absolutely loved it. And I had in my head for this border print, and I put a vote out to my membership on a couple of different options for dresses, as well as a two-piece set. So I really just wanted to get as much bang for my buck out of this border as I could. So anyway, the vote passed on skirt and top. So I was pretty sure that I was like, I'm just going to use the Thorndike. Number one, I'm loving how it fits, loving wearing it, and it's kind of cropped, and the pattern was already out and everything like that. So I went ahead and made my third Thorndike. It is such a good pattern. There will be more in my future. I feel like I need a solid white one in linen. We'll see. Anyway, I absolutely love this pattern. Again, it's the Cashmerette Club pattern for July, which you can get it right now. You can get it at any of the club levels. And then, if you just want to sign up for 1 month and then cancel it, you could get that pattern. If you're watching this after July 2025, you will have to have the all access tier to get that pattern. But anyway, it's a great one. So I decided to use it for this, but I mean, obviously, a couple of things to consider. Number one, there's very large holes here for the eyelet, which is beautiful, but I knew that I was going to need something so you couldn't see everything and anything underneath my shirt, and the same for the skirt. So went into my stash and found some really beautiful silk and this kind of a cream. It's a silk crepe de chine that I had bought. I think I got it from Metro Textiles, actually. It was on sale, and I just bought a whole bunch of it because I knew it would make great for linings and stuff. And I loved the way that it looked underneath the embroidery. My daughter had suggested, she was like, why don't you use like a pop of color? Like that would be so cool. And it would be like something direct contrast, like a aqua or a red or an orange or something that really popped. But then I thought that was going to get too busy because you've got the yellow of the fabric and then you've got the ivory of the thread, and that was going to be a third color. And I wanted this to be a little bit more neutral. So I decided to go with a silk that actually matched the embroidery, and really glad that I did. So I'll walk you through how I did the interlining here in just a minute. But I really wanted to make sure that I was using the selvage again for the hem. So what I did was, this pattern actually has a hem facing that goes onto it. Obviously, I just omitted that. I didn't use it at all. But I lined up, so when you're looking at the scallop, I lined up the very lowest point of the scallop with the hem of the shirt, with the cut, basically the cut line. Technically, I could have gone up because there's a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the bottom of the shirt. I could have gone up to make it exactly the length that all of my other two Thorndikes are. But I went with the lowest point of that scallop because I thought, well, it gets a little bit shorter, like here at the shortest. I don't know. I was playing around. I didn't want it to get too short. Like I didn't want any belly showing. So that's why I decided to do the lowest point of the scallop. I lined up so that it was hitting the cut edge of the bottom of the pattern. And I think that worked out really, really well. And I'm really pleased with how that all turned out. The length of it is all good. And yeah, like how that turned out. So that is what I did when I was cutting out the fabric. Now, with the skirt, again, I wanted that hem to hit. Now, I had gotten out the Cashmerette. I had the Cashmerette Upton dress. I have the expansion pattern, and I had it out for another project that you'll be seeing soon. But anyway, I had the skirt pattern pieces out, and so I was trying to figure out a way to use, because the Upton can be a dress or it can be a skirt, and I was, and I know that the waistband and stuff on the dress fits me really well right now, so, and the size that I had already printed out. So I'm like, oh, that's what I'll do. I'll just do the Upton skirt, but I did not have enough. The pleated version of the Upton skirt uses a lot of fabric because it's got really pretty deep pleats, and I did not have enough fabric to do that. So what I did was I used the Upton waistband, again, already had it out, and then I just took the remainder of the fabric that I had and basically just eyeballed it. I pinned it so that it would, pleating it as I went, fit into the waistband. And yeah, I had my pleats going one way to the side seam on one side, the other way, but there's technically no side seam because I mean, I made little notches where there would be side seams because I literally just took the rest of the fabric and pleated it into the waistband. Now, I did take the yardage because I didn't need the full width because that would have been way too long. And I was holding it up because, you know, the hem is the hem. Like, I can't rehem that. It would have to be shortened up here at the waistband. And after putting all those pleats in, I was like, oh, no, thank you. Anyway, so I was trying to be really careful. So yeah, it was just a matter of me kept rolling up the fabric until my daughter, actually, I was like, okay, well, how about the hem now? Do we like the hem here? And she was finally like, yeah, that's a good hem. So then I marked it, and then that's where I cut the fabric straight across. So I do still have a section of border available that I don't know, I might use it on, I don't know, something else. Like, it could be a really cool trim, maybe on another piece. Anyway, it's in my scrap bin. So I do still have one of the sides of, not the full length, but for the same width as this, therefore, I don't know, something else. But that is what I did. So this isn't technically the Upton skirt because I didn't have enough fabric. So I was eyeballing and just kind of draping, basically, to put the pleats in. So yeah, but it is the Cashmerette Upton waistband. So yes, that is where we got that. So that is kind of how I went about using that beautiful border. Okay, when it came to the interlining, I knew that I wanted it interlined for a decent amount, but I didn't want it. I wanted some see-through on the eyelet. So I only interlined, let's see, I stopped like 2 inches up, I think, on the silk lining of the top. And then on the bottom piece, I only did the silk to like right above my knee. I think I cut, because again, I'm like, I have no idea what the skirt is even doing. So I just cut a piece that was 19 inches long and I hemmed it up. But then I went ahead and basted it into place behind the fabric. So then when I was, draping and pleating it into the waistband, I was pleating those together. But I did go ahead and hem that piece of fabric before, and again, I'll show you all of this inside out. But I did go ahead and hem that piece of fabric before I basted it into place along the waistband at the top of the skirt. Okay, for the interlining of, and actually I think there was a little snippet that I had so many people asking me questions of me. I was sewing a dart on Instagram Reels. And they're like, why are you sewing through the middle of your dart? Okay, so what I did was I had my front silk piece and my back silk piece, and I went ahead and hemmed them first. And then I laid them onto the back of the main fabric, and I basted. There's a really large dart, French dart, on this pattern, and so I basted along my dart lines. But in order to keep my layers completely together, because it was such a large dart, I actually sewed through the middle of the dart flat, not all the way to the point, but pretty close. So that center point was held so that when I folded it together, I didn't have my pieces, they were all held together really nice and tight, both of those layers. I had so many people that are like, why are you sewing through the middle of your dart? And I'm like, that's why, because I was interlining. But there wasn't, technically, I guess, because I'll have people ask, well, why didn't you just line the top? That way you could have finished off the neck edge and the armhole with the lining, and you wouldn't have had to use the bias pieces. Because you would have been, if I had done it that way, you would have been able to see the wrong side of the dart bulk through the right side, through the holes on the right side of the fabric. And, you'd have been able to see the raw edge of that seam through the holes on the fashion fabric there at the neckline and also at the armhole. So I really wanted those pieces to be just as one. So I did go ahead and finish off the neckline and the bias, just like you would for the regular top or the armhole with the bias. so that it would finish off and everything was nice and tucked in on the inside and you couldn't see anything. And I just used cotton lawn. Yeah, I just used cotton lawn for the bias armhole facings as well as the neckline facing. I could have probably used more of the silk, but I had put it away. So I grabbed some scraps of the cotton lawn and used that to finish off my neckline facing and my armhole. And then I also used that same cotton to do the inside of the waistband on the skirt. So that is how all of that happened. On the skirt, I also did this beautiful keyhole. It's just really pretty. Also, I'm bigger than my mannequin, so I've got it pinned here. But I did a slot zipper here on center back on the skirt. I was just afraid it was going to get too bulky with the threads of the embroidery with an invisible zipper. I may have been okay with the invisible zipper, but I'm glad that I went ahead and just did a slot zipper. So feeling really good about that. And yeah, everything fits me very comfortably and really, really well. So that is my two-piece. Now, I'm very excited about wearing this. In fact, I'll probably end up wearing it more separates as opposed to together. I'll probably wear the top way more than I will wear the skirt as well, just because usually in the hot summer, I don't know, I may wear this skirt more than I think I will. I'm trying to branch out and wear a few more skirts. I love to wear dresses in the summer, and I am not currently struggling with we're going to say currently because this changes all the time. Currently, I'm not struggling with a lot of bloating and water retention and inflammation. That could change at any time. Right now, my medicine's working for me, but again, that can flip on a dime at any time. But right now, I'm comfortable wearing waisted things. So without elastic, these have elastic, but I am comfortable wearing things with without elastic at the moment. So we're going to take advantage of that. So I could actually see myself maybe wearing this skirt a little bit more often than I think. I need to get another cream colored tank top into my wardrobe. I think that would be really cute, a way to make this a little bit less fancy, a little bit more casual. I think that would be really a cute way to wear that as well. So anyway, I could wear it with a shirt too, actually. That might be too much eyelet. I don't know. Anyway, this is my new two-piece set and how I used the border print to most effectively use that beautiful hem. Oh, I want to talk about side seams real quick. But use that beautiful hem in order to really showcase the fabric. When I was sewing my side seams, I finished things off with the serger, my raw edges with the serger, sewed them to get my seam allowance together, pressed it open. And then, so I did a lock stitch here at the bottom, but then I did go over right within the stitching of the border, just a few stitches to make sure that that seam allowance lays flat on either side. So I just kind of sewed through the cream colored embroidery thread so you can't see it, but just a little bit on each side of the seam to keep that seam allowance nice and tacked down so that it's open and finishes that off really nicely. I had also taken my serged ends and tucked them back in so that there's no serged threads hanging off that as well, since there's no hem that I put into that. So I did want to say that. I think I did that on the center back too. Oh no, wait, never mind. There's no, it's cut on the fold. But my skirt has a center back seam for the zipper, and I did the same thing at the bottom of that. Okay, if you have any questions on how I did any of the finishing off of this set, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. And I think that's it for today. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Get some sewing in. I got a ton of sewing in with this sewcation, but yeah, I still have some projects and things that I would like to get done before summer wraps up a little bit. And I say summer wraps up, but kind of when my kids go to college. Although summer it'll still be hot here, and then I'm gonna be sad and have nothing to do. So maybe I'll get a lot of sewing done. I don't know. Once they go. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Have a good weekend and happy sewing. I'll see you next time. Bye.